Hi, Scorpio. I'm going to use my cards from when I was 15 going on 16. Happy birthday. How you feeling? Your season is here. Should be feeling pretty good. You guys can find stuff to worry about. Let's talk about thinking and feeling, shall we? And how thinking and feeling should be on the same page if we want to affect real change. A lot of times what Scorpios will do is that they will feel one way and think another way, and then they can get stuck. You can start to feel stuck because things aren't moving the way you want, things aren't going the way you want, but you're not really sure why. Well, it's because your thinking and your feeling aren't aligned. So, first up, Ace of Pentacles. Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. House of Money. Yes, sir. We're all about that coin. Keep going, keep working. It's just going to get better and better. When I say it's going to get better and better, I mean in a lot of ways. Emotionally, you've got something coming back around that will feel like a huge success. Finally, this is also the card of marriage. So if you're thinking about committing, that could be this year. Talks start in November. And then we have the Two of Wands. Thinking about a trip, wanting to take a trip, wanting to break out of what was. You have been wanting to break out of what was for a long time. And like we talked about in the manifestation video, 7 years in, and they're going to let you out. Time to get out. A lot like a prison sentence for some of you, huh? Next up, strength. And the Five of Swords. So, Scorpio, if you're dealing with a Leo energy, or you have finally found that thing within yourself as this season creeps in, where instead of thinking about everyone else, for some reason now all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm really just thinking about me. You're embodying that Leo energy. And what is that? Simply, it is caring about oneself. It is thinking and feeling as one. Leos are incredibly emotionally intelligent. What I mean about thinking and feeling as one is that their thoughts come from their heart, like Aries, like Sagittarius. The fire signs think with their heart. And you can think with your heart and your mind. And so it can become really difficult to manifest what you want. It's really easy to manifest, but not what you want. Because whichever aspect of you is stronger that day or in relation to that thing that you want, that's the side of you that's going to win. So you can want a lot of money, but if your thought process is stuck in, I'm not one of those people who can afford those things, then you won't be able to attract that. If that's the stronger one in terms of money, right? So maybe in terms of love, I don't know why it keeps freezing like this. Maybe in terms of love, you have a completely different thought process, and your heart is stronger there, where you feel like you deserve love and you've always deserved love. And if that side of you is stronger, that's the side that's going to manifest. But when you can combine both the heart and the mind, you can reach a really powerful place, and you're central to yourself this season. You are the center of your world right now, which is never the case for you guys. No matter how much you guys act like, oh, I love me and I'm all about me, and you're not. You're all about other people. You love everybody else too much. So this month you get to not do that. You get to really focus on yourself. Ace of Pentacles, that's about you. Eight of Pentacles, that's about you. Six of Wands, solely about you. Two of Wands, also just about. I'm going to get a new phone that nobody can reach me on, and it'll never ring, and I will be very happy. Okay, so the Leo card, also all about you. Now let's look at this Five of Swords, because you're like, yeah, but you're not talking about that thing that's sitting there that's the worst thing ever that can happen to a Scorpio. Come on, address it. What's the lying? What's the deceit? Who's stealing from us? We talked about it last month. You're still dealing with that energy of finding out who's been taking from you. If you thought you were going to get through Leo season without that coming up again, or without the last of that gunk getting taken out, you're mistaken. It's not going to happen. And some of these people are people you really want to hold on to, but they're not good for you. They're not being honest with you. you know? I mean, simply, that's just, they're not. So anything that you feel this way about right now, what is this way for anyone who's like watching for the first time? What are we talking about? What is the Four of Pentacles? It's holding on to something to your detriment. See, if he were to let go of those four, he might get many more. But he can't, because he can't move. Because if he moves his feet, they'll slip out from under his feet. So what he's holding on to is actually imprisoning him. Okay. I have this thing with Scorpios where I don't actually have to speak to them ever. I just look at them and then they look at me and we're having like a whole conversation. I know exactly what they're saying. They know exactly, you know what I just said to you, right? Just think about it. All right, so we've got 7 cards on the table. Let's pull an outcome card and then let's look at them together. All the videos are going to be short, right to the point, get your life, and let's keep it moving. Scorpio style. It's all your energy. I want to tell you what you need. I want to tell it to you straight. Ace of Pentacles, you got nothing to worry about in terms of work. Just keep your head down and keep working. If the Venus retrograde is messing with you, if you feel like this is taking over your life, there's things that are trying to get away from me that I really don't want to get away from me, and I'm being consumed by it, you need to focus. Because what's yours is going to walk right up to you. What's yours is attracted to you. You may find mid-month that you just want to go. You want to go to that thing yourself. So go. See, if you sit still a little bit and let your thoughts and feelings align, give yourself that time to really dive into work, because what's going to happen in the background while you're working is your subconscious is working on what it is that you really want, what it is that you really, this is now mindful manifesting. This is mindful magnetism. What do I want to attract to me? Not this moth to a flame business where you guys can be this like gorgeous flame and everything just comes flying at you, you know, anything that likes light. You know, anything that likes something shiny. I always give the example of barracudas. It's all fun and games being shiny and just, you know, indiscriminately attracting things to yourself until it's a barracuda. So there are a lot of vicious things out there that are incredibly attracted to the shine and the light. Ace of Wands, 8 of Wands. I love it so much. Seriously, Jupiter going into Sag, it's like just luck, good opportunities, moving fast, you know, emotional fulfillment. This is again about emotional intelligence. This is about you getting that which makes your heart sing. You're going to be happier at the end of this month and at the end of your season, and in a way that no one will be able to take away from you. That's what's so good. See, it's the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Stuff that's being handed just to you for you. It's not about anybody else. It's not for anybody else. Nobody else can take it from you. Nobody else can have it. It's just yours. And you know, you have that fixed, really possessive nature. When something is yours, you're like, that's mine. Like, I really don't want to hear anything. That's mine. When you are like that, if we can get you to just work a little bit with, see, because there are things here that need to be taken away, but you're being so stubborn about it. There are people here who are no good for you. There are habits that you have that where you steal from yourself. There is an element around you, especially that's mixing between your personal life and your business life, that's just not honest. There's some sort of like deep deception going on there. And I think you're having a really hard time dealing with it, because you're going to have to admit to yourself that maybe you were wrong about a few people, or that perhaps along the way, you know, your attention to detail and your ability to see through people wasn't where it should be, because you were either distracted or you play favorites and you just never looked at these people with the clear eye you should have, maybe because you knew all along that they weren't to be trusted. But it is a theme this month with Mercury going retrograde. You're going to start looking into your past, and you're going to look at things from this new angle, from this new perspective. See, I've used this example before. but I'll do it again. See, if I hold something this close to my face and I can't read it, that doesn't mean I'm illiterate. I just need some perspective to be able to read something. It needs to be far enough away that those shapes actually can be something, right? Up here, letters and numbers and everything, I can't see anything. They're just squiggles. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm in some way incapable of understanding what's on that piece of paper. I can't see like that, right? So Mercury retrograde is going to give us now this opportunity during your season to look with a little bit of perspective at something that 7, 8 years ago, for some of us 11 years ago, it was just here and it's been right here and it's been weighing on your heart and it's been like this hole in your heart and you just cannot or have not been able to deal with it. You just have been walking around with it like sticking to you like this and you just don't want to look at it. And now Mercury retrograde is going to take it and like pull it back to here. And when it lets it go, that slingshot effect back at you is going to be like, boom, this is what you wanted. You got it. Just focus on yourself. That's very hard for you guys to do, especially emotionally, especially when you feel like you're losing something, but you gotta respect the fact that anything you lose right now, if you don't get rid of it, you see how obvious this is? I'm about to show you these cards before I start yelling at you. You see how obvious it is that as soon as you let stuff go, this new, amazing, bigger than you ever thought could be possible stuff that you never thought you could have kind of stuff is just gonna be like, right there, given to you with major speed. That's what we want. That's what is the ideal Scorpio season, is that you guys make more money, get more opportunity, and your heart feels better. And I know that's a big claim to make, and I never say things like that to you, but this month, your heart will feel better. Your heart has been walking around hurting about something hard, like heavy. And this month, for some reason, you're starting to already feel this like alleviation of that pressure. And you're just like, oh, like, I don't know what it is. Is it this person? Is it this friendship? Is it this work thing? Is it that thing that from the past that's been like pulling on me and gnawing at me? And now I just start to feel like everything's going to be okay. Like everything's actually going to be okay. Am I crazy for thinking that? Or why do I feel better? Nothing's even happened yet. It's happening. It's all happening. I need you guys to be really still and just let it come to you. But instead of, like I said, a moth to a flame, we don't want moths. Okay? We don't want moths. We want to attract something very specific. And because of that, we need to embody something very specific. What we don't want to embody is this sort of blind, fixed energy. Let's not do this. You will waste your season if you do it. What we do want to embody is a self-centeredness that perhaps has gotten Scorpio in trouble before, but it's your season and I need you to be like that. And everybody else will just have to deal with it and they'll get over it. Because everybody's all about their season until it's Scorpios and Scorpio season, and then everybody wants you to calm down. Why? You don't tell people to calm down when they're like, Gemini gang, Libra gang, Virgo fam. Like, why should you guys now not be 10 times as extra? Because you're always extra, so now it's going to be 10 times extra. People are like, oh, they're being extra because it's Scorpio season. Everyone's extra in their season. So you go ahead and be extra if you want to in your season. You're allowed. Part of being extra, part of focusing, really sincerely focusing on yourself, focusing on your work, focusing on what is this kind of emotional fulfillment. This is you just walking right into your best life. A flower does not ask to bloom, it just does. Keep that with you. Everything is blooming now. You can't force it, you can't speed it up. It's going as fast as it can anyway. It really needs you to get out of its way though. It really does. And if this is about not being able to forgive somebody's deception or not being able to forgive somebody something, everyone's told you this all your life, I'm sure. No matter if it's, you've been around for 20-something years or 40-something years or 60-something years, everyone's been telling you your whole life, I'm sure, to let it go. Right now, if you are able to let go either of the person who is deceptive, the arrangement that was deceptive, or just within you, the anger you hold because of the deception, if you are able to let those things go, your life will reward you just with so much. However, Okay, let's look at these will be part of the extended, but however, you see what waits on the other side if you insist with the stubbornness, if you insist on not forgiving. Conversely, if you are, Scorpio, in the midst of some sort of intrigue where you are the offending party and you are the one who is not telling the truth, be very careful, because your karmic retribution for that then is going to be that you're going to have to offer someone something that you may not have wanted to or needed to offer them, but now you become the vehicle by which they will take your luck, because you are taking from them. So for the very small percentage of you who may be on the other side of this and may be the deceptive party, you're just giving your karma and your luck away, fam. Cut it out. All right, let's look at these cards. I love you. You know this. Happy birthday. Have the best time. Be careful, please. I feel like people like to hype you in the wrong way and get you like turned. And they're not always looking out for you. You know? Just be a little kinder to yourself. Spend more time with people who love you as opposed to just like your shine and want some of the, the glare of the shine on them. And that's really all they're there for. If you get that sense about people this month, leave them alone. They don't deserve you. Right? You, it's about you. Forget them. Focus on you, because all the stuff that's coming is about you. Good? I love you. I'll see you in a minute. We'll look at these cards and I'll see you in the extended. Hi. All right, let's look at these cards. So, Scorpio, when it's laid out like this, does it make it easier to see what I mean about this inevitable progression? From the first card being money handed to you, Jupiter moves into the second house, to the guidance of focus. Whatever you're working on, the way you've been doing it, keep doing it. It's going great. That's exactly what we want to be doing. To the fruits of your labor paying off and you gaining that higher level of success. For some of you, this is financial. For others, it's freedom. And yet for others, it's love. Perhaps a love that they've been wrangling with for a while. Perhaps this is a healing from a love that you now realize will not work. Regardless, the money and the promotion and the liberation and the freedom are all connected, because we know they're connected for Scorpio. Now from there, November to December also sees you taking a trip. This trip is going to be really, really good for your self-esteem, your self-image, and your strength, your threshold for pain and bullshit and all of that. You'll realize where you were taking too much and where you weren't giving enough, but also where you were tolerating too much. One of the other things that may happen as you tap into this great strength that's very much tied to this trip and to the idea of wanting to break out of what you've always done or what people have always expected of you. When you start this process, you will inevitably run into people who are in your own camp and they're insincere. So it becomes time to root them out. However, you will have to fight the fixed nature of your sign and of your psyche, and perhaps just go on faith. If you can't make a clear enough correlation, perhaps go on faith that these two, Five of Swords and Four of Pentacles, are related. And how are they related? Well, this person is stealing from you, lying to you, lying about you perhaps. But this person is lying to themselves. You see, because he feels like he's figured out the antidote to impermanence, which is just hold tight and everything will just keep going the way it is. And then, sure, you end up having a sedentary lifestyle, but at least you're still alive. So in sharp contrast, we have the Strength card. We have the moving away and being free and doing it on your own and just being brave, you know, just something switched over and you're like, I want to do all these things. What am I waiting for? That's the Strength card here. This is the conflict, basically, between what you think of people and what the reality is with them, and what you need to tell yourself to not go nuts in that scenario. Because I don't think these are people you can help. Although you may want to try. And then the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands. So the Ace of Wands really for me is just another big group of opportunities that are coming in from every side. And I would be quite positive about another ace coming up, especially the fire one, especially with another fire card. So when these new things are offered to you, especially mid-month towards the end of November, when these new things are offered to you, don't jump. All right, let's take a look at your extended. Ah, that's where all the pain is hiding. Okay, so we'll look at these in the extended, and we'll also go all the way to the bottom of the deck, applying the cards as we go. All right, it looks really good. The only person that can tie you down now is who? You tell me. You. And if you're dealing with a Capricorn, you're really hurting, and I think you should probably leave them alone and try to have a nice summer. All right. So Scorpio, that is it for your reading. I loves yous, and I will see you in the extended. Bye.